Hi everyone, my name is Kelvin. I'm going to continue from my previous video. This is video number 3 of database management. Tip number 2, we're going to discuss about how are we going to filter the data in our database. So the data that I'm going to use is going to be the same data that I have used earlier. So let's go right into it. This is the data that we are using since the video number 1 on database management. But this time, I'm not going to work on the sorting. I'm going to work with the filter instead. So how are we going to do that? So if you want to turn on the filter, we can go to the data ribbon and click the filter button. So if I do that, right, when I point to the filter, if you look carefully at the tooltip, it says that Control-Shift-L. You can learn the keyboard shortcut along the way. But in this case, if I want to turn on the filter, I can use this. Another method is I can go to the home ribbon. Okay, let me just bring this a little bit lower. I'm going to bring to the home, then I'll go to this sort and filter. I can turn on the filter from here as well. So it's really up to you. Again, they're telling you Control-Shift-L. So to me, my personal favorite, I actually use Control-Shift-L a lot. So I will click on this data and I realize that hey, I need to filter. So I quickly press on the keyboard Control-Shift-L. Right, and that will help me to get the filter up. Right, so you notice the filter is already turned on. So if I do it from here, I can turn off and on. It's the same thing. Right. Now let's move on to filter. If I want to filter out information like customer segment, I only want to look at the segment which says consumer. All I need to do is just click on the drop-down list next to the label, next to the header, and I decide from these 3 items that I have in this column, I need to see what only the consumer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck. Sorry about that. I'm going to uncheck the select all, and I'm going to only check consumer. So once I'm done, I just click OK. What I'm looking at now from the whole set of data, I'm only left with consumer. Now, of course, this is only one level of filtering. I'm going to go further. I say, okay, in the consumer segment, I plan to look at those from the manager belongs to Chris. So I'll do that. I am going to look at Chris sales, the sales presented by Chris. There you go. I have the consumer, then followed by Chris. Now that's my second filter that I perform. Now I'm going to perform the third filter. I'm going to go to product category and I can choose something called, let's say, only the technology. So I uncheck my office supply, then I will see only technology. So I'm going to click OK. Now you see I'm left with only 10 record belongs to consumer, Chris, and technology. That's how we perform our filter. Like most of us do, we do that. Now, if I want to release the filter, I do not want it anymore. I just press Control-Shift-L to release it, and I can press Control-Shift-L again to bring it back. So that's how convenient without looking for any button at the top. Right? Now, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to go a little bit in depth from the common functionality of a filter earlier. This time, I'm going to go into a specific search. I'm going to use the column called customer name. If I'm looking for a customer, but I have no idea what is the name, all I remember is the name is starting with the alphabet M. The first letter of the name starts with alphabet M. So instead of me go into the customer name and check and uncheck all those names, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to use this method anymore. I'm going into text filter and I'm telling them I'm going to look for begins with. Begins with. So when I click begins with, I will put there M. As long as the name begins with the alphabet M, I would like to see all of them. So that will narrow down the search for the data I'm looking for. So I'm going to click OK now. If you look into the list, all the names that I'm looking at, they are starting with alphabet M. If you look at all the customer name, right? So they are starting with alphabet M. So that's how one of the method you can search for the data, a specific data that you know. However, I didn't know a lot of things. I only know the alphabet M. Now, let's just say the second clue that was given to you is, now, the names are divided into first name and last name. So someone gave you the clue saying that the first name has 4 characters, starting with M, yes, but there are another 3 other characters. You can't remember whether it's whether it's Maya. You can't remember the exact name. So what you do is you can call out, narrow down the search to only those first name with 4 characters, but the last name can be any name. So let's go into that. I would like to introduce, there are 2 wildcard in your search for the filter. So let's go into this customer name again. I go to text filter. I go back to this begins with. So this is what I'm going to do. The clue is in here. We will use something called a symbol called question mark to represent any unknown character. One unknown character. One question mark represents one unknown character. However, if we use the asterisk will represent any number of unknown character. So we're going to do that. We're going to use exactly what it says there. So I know that my first name begins with alphabet M and in the total of 4 characters. So after the M, I'll put 3 question mark. What I do later is I put a space because the first name and the last name is separated by a space. Then I didn't mention any specific last name. It can be any last name. Therefore, I will put an asterisk for that. So M, question mark, question mark, question mark, that will make up 4 characters. Space followed by the asterisk. So if I hit OK now on my dialog box, you will notice the name that appear in your customer name now, all starting with alphabet M, and they have only 4 characters. Okay, so this is how you can use those wildcard, the question mark and the asterisk. Now, I hope you like this video, and please follow me in my channel, subscribe to my channel, click on the notification so that you will get the release of the next video. So thank you, and I hope you like this video. All the best to you. Please follow me in my next video. Bye.